So you have probably used shortcuts like undo, record or duplicate when you work on your music. But have you ever tried Shift F or Control Space? We'll take a look at some unique shortcuts that will speed up your workflow. Shortcuts I've been using on almost every project over the last couple of years, saving me hours that I could spend on focusing on the music. Ready? Let's go. This video isn't OS specific and most of these shortcuts should work in every DAW. Though some may be limited to Cubase. If you know a workaround in your own DAW, let me know in the comments down below. So let's say you want to open this MIDI part. I see so many people double clicking this MIDI part, editing it and then go up to the right corner to close the MIDI part. A much easier way is to set a keystroke. In my case, it's E to open and E to close. So let's say you have this legato patch that you really like and you want to add a second instrument of the same kind. Control D, duplicates, deletes all the versions and deletes all the content. It would even copy things like the sends or the inserts. So when you're mixing or you want to make your track a little bit more ordered, you might want to think about grouping your tracks. So I'm using this shortcut. I select the tracks, Shift G, adds a group track, but not any group track. It adds the group track to the selected tracks. And the same thing goes for the effects. Just select your tracks that you want to have a effect on, and then Shift F, and then you will have all of these tracks sending to this effects track. For the overview, it's always nice to have different track heights. When you edit, for example, I use this view. When you want to go deeper, use this view. Even deeper, this view. If you want the overview of your whole project, Control 1. Now let's say I'm jamming around, maybe with a click. Oh, no, it just played something that I liked, but I didn't record it. I use Control Insert to activate the retrospective recording. I'm not sure if other DAWs have this function, but the retrospective recording, just beautiful. So let's say I like this version, but maybe I want to play it a little bit different. So I do a new version with hitting Control, Shift, N, new version. So maybe I want to go back to version number 3. So I hold Control, Shift, and up. We press on the MIDI part, R sets the locator and activates the cycle. I don't like that the playhead always starts on this position where I am right now. I set up a keystroke, which is Control Space, and the cursor will start from the part selected. Control Space. Okay, stop. I didn't like this note. Now the cursor jumps back, but maybe I want the cursor to stay where I just stopped. So I can toggle between the two behaviors with Alt and Spacebar. So if I hit Spacebar now, oh, I didn't like this. If I hit Spacebar again, it stops exactly where I did like it to stop. Over the years, I came up with a method that my left hand stays on the keyboard for the most important shortcuts and my right hand can stay on the mouse. V for the selection tool, C is my cutting tool, X is my mute tool, C, cut, F, delete. By the way, I don't often use redo, that's why I do delete and undo. So in this first part of the video, we saw a lot of the shortcuts, but now you'll see them and many more live in action. Let's do this. Let's record some strings. The cycle is still activated, so I press T to deactivate the cycle. Now I hold Shift and Insert to activate the delay compensation and Shift Delete to activate the click. And now if I press Insert, it records. Record. Here we go. So now let's open the key editor. Maybe using the sustain pedal is not the best thing to do with string instruments. So this is why we will now go into the edit. If I press Ö, German, sorry, it deletes all the MIDI data that came with this recording. Because I now have this video thing and everything rolling, my buffer size is higher. This is why my brain now wants to play the things a little bit earlier each time I press the keyboard. So what I set up is a macro, which actually allows you to move the selected MIDI notes to the right or to the left for a few milliseconds. Control Alt to select everything and then Control Alt and right to bring them a little bit closer to where they should get. And then I start quantizing. Let's say we want a soft quantize. This looks good. Now we have a next problem. The notes are not extended to the next notes. There is a shortcut Shift W, but it only works if the notes are the same length. So what I do before this, we activate the hard quantize, make it short, Shift W, bring it up. Maybe you don't always want this because this can kind of kill the performance. So we want to add some character using a modulation wheel. This part is actually not connected to the MIDI part. So what we can do now is go up here and press Y to glue it together. So now where do we see the actual modulation? I hit Shift 1 for my first view, Shift 2 for my second view, Shift 3 for my third, and Shift 4 to have it empty. Now we come to the bread and butter of this video. Let's say we have this ensemble patch now, but we want to distribute it over, let's say, the violin, the violas, the cello, etc. What I see people doing is doing this. And then they go in there and start deleting out notes like this. Maybe sometimes even losing or not seeing one or the other. What should you do instead? Copy this one time and delete the notes only. Now you have this part with the modulation wheel. Now you duplicate this, you select two parts, you go into your main part, select the notes that you want to move to the bass, you press Alt and down. There you go. It moves them to the second part selected. So let's select these two, go in here, Alt down, moved to there. Okay, go in there, Alt down, moved to there. And now we have a perfect string arrangement with 4 different tracks, each having only one note playing. We could go in and delete the modulation and record a second modulation over this. So let's say we want to change something about the instrument right now. The keystroke I set up is this one. It's this shape. It doesn't show the shape down here, but it's this shape. So now we go in there and we say aflados, las basses legato. Same thing over here. Aflados, cellos. Here we go. And now because we need a second violin, duplicate the track again, bring this down, open the editor, Shift up moves it an octave up, Shift down moves it an octave down. Let's do this real quick and bring in the last violin, violin number 2, legato. And here we go. Now we have a perfect violin 2, viola, cello, and basses. When I design my shortcuts, I always start from scratch because I think there are so many functions within a DAW that you would not use that might be on very important positions of your keyboard. So I will just throw them out and replace them with my own ones. I compiled all the shortcuts in a free to download PDF that you find in the pinned comment. Make sure to check it out. Now we see this is actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bar recording. Select all the tracks, press C for the cutting tool. Then delete this, do it again, C for the cutting tool, delete this. We have a 4 bar loop. Now let's say we want to record something with the piano over this. Let's duplicate this real quick. D does duplicating. I actually need a click. I almost never record. I always use the retrospective recording because I never know if I like what I record, and it just takes away a little bit of pressure for me. Now for the quantization. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the different note types. 6 toggles between triplets and non-triplets. So in this case we need the triplets with the 8th. I will now notch it a little bit there and back. I think like this should work. And then we activate the soft quantize and go in like this. Okay, hit it a few times. F is this one, deletes. Delete. Okay, and maybe we want them down, like this. Okay. Yeah. It's not too bad. Not very original, but I think it's okay. Now let's record some bass. Okay, I like this. So cut, cut, cut. Go in there. This is an instance where I would deactivate the soft quantize, then do it like this, delete this note, select it, Shift W, and I have it just like this. Put it on here, and we have the bass. Now let's add some drums. Oh, it's really hard with the delay. Okay, let's open this up, nudge it a little bit to the right. Not a hard, but a soft one, and Q does the job. Here's a little extra tip. If you have a recording like this and you have different instruments to play them back, look for the half, make a cut, now delete it, put this one over here, and put this one over here. This will bring in a little bit more variety. Now we have the two sounds. Let's say we want to put the sticks now in a folder. I select the tracks and then Control M brings them into a folder. Now we can name the folder sticks and give them a unique color. We want to add some reverb to the sticks. Before we do this, I would actually like to put them on a single group. Select them, Shift G, then I will go in here and search for drums because this is the main group, always written in all capital. So I have the sticks groups now, and the sticks groups will be sent to a new channel, and this will have a reverb. I think a cinematic reverb in this case. Perfect. By the way, I always use these fader controllers. For example, this is my Send 1, Send 2, Send 3, Send 4, Send 5. These are my modulation CC controls, and this is my actual volume control of the selected tracks. So this allows me actually to put them in the room where I want them. This kind of wraps it all up. If you have any shortcuts that I didn't feature in this video, if you want to share them in the comments, feel free. I'm always happy to learn. That being said, if you want to check out some free plugins, click on the video that pops up on the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.